Hello, my name is Jessica, and I was diagnosed with Lyme in December 2010. I was most likely infected with Lyme in June 2008, but it's hard to pinpoint an exact date, time, because I am in the Northwest and do a lot of traveling for fun and for work. So I was in Canada, Washington, Oregon, California, and Montana, all within about a month span. All I know is that I got sick in Montana. I came down with a rash that looked like a spider bite. I was camping, so I just assumed that it was a crazy spider bite, which kind of freaked me out, but no biggie. Not until I came home from that trip, about a month later, 3 weeks later or so, that I actually came down with the flu. And again, just thought it was a summer flu, and turned out it wasn't. It was something else. Went through a bunch of doctors, yada yada. All of us Lyme sufferers go through the same thing until finally diagnosed. So December 2010, I was actually diagnosed and started on antibiotic treatment. It seemed to go pretty well for the most part. I've been on antibiotics for a year and a half, and I feel like I have hit a treatment fatigue right now. I have been on Mepron for my babesia, which is kind of like a malaria. I've been on doxycycline, amoxicillin, Zithromax, Omnicef, Nystatin, and then 3 or 4 other ones that I can't even pronounce. But hitting it really hard with all the antibiotics. That's the treatment plan that I decided to go with. Hopefully, it would knock it out. Just like many people who are first diagnosed with Lyme, you think antibiotics is the answer, and it will get rid of it. I'll be cured. I'll go back to normal, and that's just not it. I have heard that Lyme is not a sprint, but it is a marathon. And after being on antibiotics for a year and a half, different ones every couple months to switch it up, I feel like I've hit a wall where I want to try something else. Been doing a lot of research on what else is out there. Some of them seem pretty far-fetched, and some seem more doable for me. I've been reading about the Rife machine, which is a machine that you can hook yourself up to and all sorts of crazy stuff. And I've heard it works for a lot of people, but because Lyme and all of its co-infections are different for each person, depending on your body makeup, DNA makeup, I have chosen to go with something that I have heard works. I'm not expecting a miracle, but I do want to take a step back from antibiotics and try something else. I feel like being on antibiotics for a year and a half, even though there's different ones, it's going to take quite a toll on your body. I have noticed a lot more stomach issues in just the last couple months than ever before. Even though I've been taking my probiotics, I still feel like bloating, tons of abdominal pain, and I know it's tearing up my insides, so I just need to pull back and stop and try something new. So, with that being said, I stopped my antibiotics this morning and just took my probiotic and my multivitamin, and I'm just going to take vitamins this week and try to get all the antibiotics out of my body and start fresh with something called the Salt C protocol, which is salt, not table salt, but Himalayan sea salt and vitamin C. There's a lot of information about it, a lot of good information that it works, a lot of information that it again is harsh on your stomach. But I have been doing a lot of research into a couple different websites that talk about it. One is lymephotos.com, which is the site that brought the protocol out. What their theory is that due to the decreased consumption of salt in daily diets that we've allowed the invasion of parasites into our body. And they talk about how with cows, they give them the salt licks, and that keeps a lot of the parasites away. So it's the same type of thinking, and just wanting to try something new. It seems like the easiest, the least amount of cost, and just more natural. And let's face it, when you've been taking antibiotics for a year and a half and fighting with your body, you know yourself better, and you know when it's time to try something new. Normally I would speak with my doctor about this, but since I'm not going to be seeing her for another 5 weeks, I want to just go ahead and stop the antibiotics and try it myself. So while I know that that's not the smart way to go, that I should wait to talk with her about it, I think this is a good time to do it because of all my stomach problems. I was in so much pain last night and I had a hard time sleeping because of all the stomach issues that I have been having. So I am going to start this next week. I'm going to give my body enough time to regulate itself, give my body enough time to process through all the antibiotics that I currently am still on that are running through my system, and I'm going to start the Salt C protocol next week. I'm not going to start it full blown, but I'm going to step up, meaning I'm going to start with a little of the salt and the vitamin C, and then work my way up to what eventually be a full dose. So what it works with is it works with the Himalayan sea salt, which are the little tiny sandy salt that's kind of pinkish, and you put that in water with powdered vitamin C. You mix that up in about 700 milliliters of water, and then you drink the water within 30 to 45 minutes. Eventually you'll have 3 of those a day, but to start you just have 1. And I have it broken down by how much I need to take based on your weight and your body size. So once I start doing that, I will go into that. So I'm going to start that next week. Hopefully it works out for me. I will keep you updated on how I'm feeling and if that is working a little bit better. And we'll try it out.